Have you ever been overrun by your lawn? Maybe you didn't have any petrol, or you needed to do that oil change at the start of the season, or maybe you just couldn't start it. Well, in the era of the electric lawnmower, we're all going to have to come up with different excuses. So this is the Cox IQ, sold in Australia by Australian brand Cox. They make their own mowers, but this is not one that they've made. They've imported this one from China. It's also imported by Bush Ranger. They call it the E-Rider. The difference is that the Bush Ranger one they bring in is blue, whereas the Cox one is grey. About $4,500. It's a 72 volt system, 18 amp hours. That makes it about 1.3 kilowatt hours. Down here you have your on-off switch, your battery bar graph. We have a cruise control button, headlights, and your mowing children button. This here turns the blade on and off, and this rocker here is for going forwards or backwards. So to start the mower, turn this on. This is while I'm seated, it won't run if I'm not seated. Now the bar graph has come up to show us how much battery you have. It's gone right to the top at the moment because it's fully charged. To go forwards, put the forwards rocker down to forwards and then put your foot on the accelerator. To go reverse, back to neutral, and then into reverse. To engage the blades, pull this button up. Off it goes. So you'll notice there that when I went into reverse the blade stopped. That's where this button here comes in. So if you have this button pressed in, you can turn on the blades, go forwards and reverse. Very handy for if you don't have children around who might get run over. This button here is just for lights, and this button here is the cruise control. So with the cruise control, you press that in, and then if you are driving along, you can set it at a certain speed and it will stay at that speed. Doesn't really work for low speeds. It's not very useful for mowing, but it is useful for transporting the mower to somewhere else. The cutting deck here can go from all the way down from 1 all the way up to 10. We normally use it on 5 or 6. Has a cup holder. So to clean the mower, put on the handbrake, turn everything off. Lift it up and sit it on its back. Then you can access all these parts here. Here's the top of one of the blade motors. So we've got our wire going in there. It just vents out the top. So it comes in from the bottom, I think, and blows out the top. So it's just important to keep the grass off of there. And here's the bottom. Again, clean out these slots every now and then just to keep it cool. So down the bottom here we have our drive motor. Looks like we have a little differential there. Next to the drive motor, right in under there, is the air intake for the battery cooling. Right in under there. This motor here is also air cooled. It looks fine. There's no build up of anything around it other than this tiny little bit of stuff off the outside. Down here is our brake adjustment. Both the hand brake and the foot brake go through the same mechanism, and here they are here. So you have the hand brake here is tight, I've got the hand brake on, and this one is the foot brake, so they both pull up on the same lever. They've got individual adjustments just above, up under there. So there's some interesting stuff under the rear cover here. Let's have a look. The single nut here, which I loosened earlier. This nice metal cover. Hinge is open. So in here we have our 72 volt battery here. We have two controllers on this side. One says left controller, one says right controller. So they'll be for the two blades, one motor each. And there's another controller on the other side, which is for the drive motor. Got three separate motors, three separate controllers. It's a bit dusty in here. I might go and get the compressed air to clean it out. So it's not terrible in here. It's a bit dusty, but it's had a year's work. So it's probably worth giving it a clean out every year. Cleaned it up a bit. Let's have a look in this battery box. So that's just open to the top. It's got this dust filter there. It's nice and clean inside. Not dusty at all. It's good. Aha, so there's our 72 volt battery terminals. I'll get my multimeter. Here's a multimeter set to volts. .4 volts. So that's definitely dangerous. I wouldn't want to touch that at all. Might put that cover back on. So we've got our positive and negative. We've also got 6 other wires come out of there. I assume that's a battery management system of some kind. I'll put this back on. Now notice we've got these 3 connectors. This will be the main battery. So your main current through that one. And we have these other, probably BMS wires down here. Little grommets. Undo the little grommets, then we should be able to get this battery out. Here we go, it's very light. Okay. Now under here, you can see 2 fans. When you turn the ignition on, normally you can hear these fans, and I'd wondered what they were. So they're in the battery itself. Looking in through the sides, I can see little cylindrical cells, something like this one, which is just one that I've got on the bench. That's presumably what it's made up out of. So that draws air in through the bottom. And I can see in the bottom there's this foam stuff. There's holes in the bottom of the the box here, and so it draws air up from the bottom through this foam and into the battery to keep the battery cool. I might give that a bit of a clean. That looks like something be good to do once a year. So what I'm going to do here, since the fan draws the air up through this foam and I can see straight through the bottom where the air comes in, I'll just blow air through the foam from the top. Means I don't have to remove the foam, it's stuck to it, it's glued on it. So I'll just blow from here. There are 4 holes. And yeah, that's clean them up a bit. Good enough, I think. So that means doing that way means I don't have to move any of this foam or ruin anything. I'll just put the battery back in there. That is very light. That would be 5 kilograms maybe. Now this piece of foam is in the way. There, grommets back in. Where'd that other grommet go? There it is. Okay, those controllers don't have any cooling on them at all, which is interesting, other than just convective cooling. I might just give them a wipe with a cloth. Wiping these down just so they can continue cooling. If they get too much dust on them, they might get a bit insulated, but they look pretty good. The more work in the dry, of course, the more dust you'll get in there. Good. Ready for the lid. So this is not dusty at all on this side. This is the out side for the air. The air comes out the top, in the bottom. Put these back in. Red one to the red one. And the yellow one to the yellow one. Oh, by the way, the switch for the seat is under here, and so you can turn this on and it will work like so. But as soon as you get off the seat, it stops. Okay, put it back together again. Thank you for watching. In the next video I'll do some mowing and we'll see how far we can go on the 1.3 kilowatt hour battery that we have. In the meantime, I think I need to go and put the slasher on the tractor.